Well, hello, Julie Damon.
Hello, Amy Lillard.
How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to In Development.
In development in June. It's like days before July. That is bananas.
Where has the time gone? I have no idea.
I have no idea, but it's really nice because the weather's beautiful outside, and we have two amazing events happening today in our two production centers. Very different events. Like we have in Spokane, they're doing the official cast and crew screening of Dream and Wild, which was directed by Bill Polad, and you're going to see in theaters very soon. And so they get to see it on the big screen for the first time. And then over on the west side, it is the official grand opening of the Harbor Island Studios. So with so much activity and so many fun things happening, we're going to move it along today so that we can get out the door and attend some of these festivities. So with that, we had the very, well, maybe uninspired title called Updates about what we've been doing behind the scenes. So we wanted to just share a couple of things.
Oh, she froze. We wanted to share a couple things. We wanted to share. Oh, are you back? Are you back?
Am I back? Can you see me?
You're back. I can see you now.
Perfect. The first thing we want to talk about is the Small Budget Production Initiative. We had 77 applications from literally all over the state. We had 33 different unique cities represented, and they were from, of course, our two production centers, but then we had places like Freeland and Duval and Clarkston. I mean, it was so inspiring to meet filmmakers from these places that we hadn't known yet. And we just felt your energy and your excitement about this program. Of those 77 applications, we're looking at about $30 million in spend, right? So inspiring projects. The board has some really, really hard decisions to make, but those are coming down the pipe pretty quick here. Also interesting to us in like evaluating and looking at the applications from a data standpoint is that we had a lot of different applicants who wanted to be evaluated for the enhanced incentive. And Julie, do you want to talk a little bit about those enhanced incentives, what they are and how you qualify and all that?
I would love to. So it's awesome that we had filmmakers from all over who want to film all over and tell different kinds of stories. And so as a reminder to everyone out there, these enhanced incentives are a bump, so a 10% bump if you meet certain criteria. So off the bat, in order to qualify for these enhanced incentives, you have to meet the spending thresholds of either $150,000 for commercials, $300,000 per episode for episodics, and $500,000 for motion pictures. And so once that hurdle is met, then applicants can opt in and they can let us know if they're going to. We're getting pinged for something, but we're moving forward. They can let us know if they want to be evaluated for that enhanced incentive. And for rural, the way it works is that you have to film 50% or more of your days in a rural jurisdiction. And so a rural jurisdiction in Washington State is a rural county, and that's defined. There's a lovely list. 30 out of 39 counties in Washington are rural. But to qualify for the enhanced incentive to tell the story of underrepresented communities, there are some specific questions you have to answer about what community is represented in the story and how it's represented in the story. And I think that this is a lovely moment to sort of talk about what our process is to evaluate these projects that want to tell the story of underrepresented communities. So Amy, did you want to chat about that for a minute? Or do you want me to keep going?
You're on a roll, girl. You go.
All right. So it was, such a wonderful opportunity. This is the first real set of applications because I don't know, there's a thing called a writer's strike going on right now for us to test out our process to evaluate scripts that tell the story of underrepresented communities. And what was most important to us in this process is that we wanted to set the applicants up for success. We wanted to make sure that, we could give this money away to that community. And so what we did was hired about a dozen readers, and those readers have a wide array of lived experience and obviously experience reading scripts and identifying motion picture stories, doing that type, but really that they had different life experiences. And so then the way it works is once a project opts in to tell us, yes, their project tells the story of an underrepresented community, then we pass that script or outline or storyboard or whatever it happens to be off to 3 different readers. And there are up to 3 rounds for them to read and review and evaluate and let us know if they see it too, if they see that the project also has that, is telling that story. And we're super excited. We're on that path. We have a number of scripts that are going to be going to readers, that are going to readers as we speak. So very exciting stuff.
Yeah. And it's, again, this is something that no one else in the country is doing. And we're excited to be breaking barriers and doing interesting things, and let them follow us, is what I say. So with that, we have another kind of fun update in that we have been teasing you a little bit about this new program called Emerge. And the Emerge program is Washington State's answer to the Sundance Lab. It's our own version in the Pacific Northwest of the quote Sundance Lab. It has a education component, which is about 12 weeks, where we're going to get a group of 30 folks together to learn like the hard knocks, learning curve about all things in the film industry. So marketing and distribution and financing and paperwork and all of the things. And then if you're in that cohort, that education cohort, you can apply for one of 3 to 5 mentorships that you'll have a mentor in Washington and a mentor out of a production center like Los Angeles or New York. And with the goal of making a film, making you better business people and then making a film at the end of it. So we have exciting news in that during this interim period from our last update, we have written the guidelines and criteria. We have written the draft of the application. We have scheduled it out, and the board approved all of it. So at our last board meeting, which was in June, a couple weeks ago. So we have that entire program greenlit and on the go, and you're going to see that education application window open this fall. So it is all happening. So with that, we've also at our last board meeting talked a lot about the work of our 2 committees. One is the Film Leadership Council and one is the Equity Committee. Julie, do you want to chat a little bit about the work of those committees and what people should know?
Absolutely. So the Equity Committee is a new committee of the board, and we have our 2 equity co-chairs of Myron Partman and Malcolm Pellis, and I believe they've been on past episodes of In Development, so check those out. I feel like if I'm on YouTube, like in that square here, that square there, but they've been hard at work, and the board has recently approved the equity charter. And the next step in that process is to recruit additional equity committee members. And that is really what we are working on this summer. So we're out there, we've gotten some names, we're reaching out to people, but if this is something that interests you, we will have a public call for people. But if it's just something that you think of someone or you want to participate, emailing info@washingtonfilmworks.org is a great way to reach out to us, because we are working to build out that committee. And then the Film Leadership Council is this beautiful advisory board to Washington Filmworks board. And again, we have 2 great co-chairs with Jeff Barehand and Devontae Smith. And They head up this committee, which we have just gotten a bunch of new members on board for this committee, but we are going to have an open call for a couple more members. So that is something to keep an eye out on later this month. Not this month, this year. If only this month. Tomorrow being the last day of this month.
Tomorrow. And the Film Council really has, influence and opportunity within the organization. We preview programs for them, and they've got their own agenda that they're working on this year, including creating some videos and doing some workforce development outreach in their communities. So it's really, we lean in on this committee quite a bit to help us help you and to create opportunities for the film industry. So anyway, well, we promised to keep it short and sweet because we have places to go and things to do, but we just wanted to pop on and remind you that we are working so hard trying to get these programs up and running. We have a bunch of new people, which we're going to introduce you to in one of our upcoming in development segments. And as always, if you need anything, email us at info@washingtonfilmworks.org. So have a nice one, and happy 4th of July.